Hi, I'm Shonda Miles. I am a business consultant. I just want to talk to you about pricing as an entrepreneur. So I hear this all the time. This is probably one of the biggest things that I hear, biggest complaints I hear is I cannot charge more. I'm scared to charge this. People don't have the money. Why don't people pay? And are people thinking that they have to do something for a discount? I just want you to think about, as an entrepreneur, our expenses, the way things have to be structured is going to be different from a corporation. So what happens when we're a business owner, we have to pay for all the expenses that our employer might have split with us or paid completely for us. And when you think about that, you realize that, so let me just go back. So first of all, what you have to realize is that when you start up your own business, you have to be compensated for what you're doing. If you're not compensated, then you're not able to pay your bills. We don't do a good job. We don't do as good of a job as we can when we don't charge what we deserve. And so we got to believe that we're worthy of the amount of money that we're charging. You got to be mindful that when we work for an employer, they split the cost for us for, Medicare, all these different things, insurance, but we still have, our health insurance, our life insurance. You have the money that we pay in for taxes, Medicare, all these different Social Security, all these different things that we have to pay. We still have to pay those things. And then we still have to live. We still have to. And so I think it's unfair to give away expertise, and it's taking you 30 years to develop that expertise, and you give it away for pennies on a dollar. Or it took you, $100,000 to develop this expertise, or 10,000 hours of your time, and then you give it away for pennies on a dollar. I think we do ourselves a disservice when we do that. We discount our expertise. And then when we discount it, then the people that we serve don't value it. So we got to make sure that we're rock solid on pricing. So I'm not telling you what to charge because I don't know. There's so many different variables. But oftentimes entrepreneurs, small business owners, new business owners charge way less than they could. They charge way less than they should. And some of it is we put people in the same box that we're in. So we think that because we won't spend, because we can't spend $2 million on a service, that somebody else won't spend $2 million on a service. And so we have to get out of that mindset, because we don't know what somebody else can pay. But two, we got to realize that we have value, that we are worthy, that we have spent 30 years on our particular area of expertise. We have 30 years or 40 years of life experience, or 20 years of life experience, and that is valuable, right? Because if you have 20 years of experience, of life experience, 20 years stuff that I don't know, but you can come in and give me the highlights in, a 10-hour course or whatever, or a book, 300-page book, and my life can be different. I can skip all those things that you failed at. I can skip all those things that you didn't know. All those things that you knew that I didn't know. You can help me. You can compress time for me. You can save me money and energy. I can spend that time with my family and my friends. So we got to stop devaluing our expertise. So we're valuable. We're worth the money that we charge, probably a lot more. I think it's a mindset issue that we think that we're not worth the money, but we got to realize that we're worth way more. Nobody could ever pay us what we're worth. Nobody could ever pay us what we're worth. We're worth way more than anybody could ever pay us. And then two, we're so valuable. We can offer something to somebody that nobody else could offer in the way that we can offer it, right? Because we all have our own unique personalities. We have our own unique experiences, our ways of doing things. We see things differently, and so we can offer that to somebody and be very helpful. So I just want you to think about this. If you have trouble with pricing, just realize that you are valuable, and you've got to see how valuable you are before you can tell somebody else. You got to believe it so that you can get the amount of money that you're worth. So I know for a fact that if you're not paid the correct amount, or at least an adequate amount, then you cannot show up as your best self. You cannot, because once they sign the deal, that you're thinking about the next deal because you have responsibilities, you have bills you have to pay. But if you charge the correct amount or adequately, you can take care of this customer, this client well. You can be your best self. You can take care of yourself. You can take care of your employees, your staff. But when you don't charge adequately enough, you can't hire staff. When you don't charge adequate enough, you can't be off because you're always working to get the next deal. You have to have so many more clients. So just realize that you're valuable, that if you ever work for somebody else, if you ever had expertise in an area, you've spent time in that area. Somebody saw you were valuable enough, they hired you, they paid you X amount of dollars. So they thought you were worth at least that amount. So you got to think about on your own that you're worth that same amount or more. And so oftentimes employers don't pay us what we're worth, right? Because typically they hire us and they expect us to generate for the company 4 times what they paid us. So just think about that. An employer hires you and you have to you have to make the company 4 times more than what they pay you. But then you want to go out on your own as an entrepreneur and you don't want to get paid half of what your employer paid you. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. So you got to see the value in yourself. You got to look at yourself and say, okay, I have 30 years of life experience I can share. I have 20 years of life experience I can share. I've got 10 years of life experience I can share. I've made it through this. I've made it through these challenges. I've learned this. I can share this. I know step by step how to do this. I can help with this. You know, there's value there. You have a lot of value. You have a lot of things that you've learned. And so be mindful of that you deserve to be paid well for that. And just know if you're not paid well, that you will resent the customers who show up and pay you less than you deserve. And also, they won't be the best customers for you as well. So I noticed that people who pay attention. People who pay more attention. They do better. They have better results because they're invested. They realize the importance of an investment. They don't see it as this is what you charge. They see this is an investment in me. It's not an investment in the business owner. It's an investment in me, that person who's the customer. So just something to be thinking about. And so if this video has been helpful, you can go to shondamiles.com, sign up for my email to be on my email list, and you will receive the daily YouTube videos, daily podcasts, and daily blog posts.